Today, we're starting with something truly spectacular. We're heading to Remscheid, Germany, a city that's been the heart of German metalworking for over a century, and we're walking inside the forge at Dyrostal. What you're about to see is one of the most powerful mechanical processes on the planet. A raw steel billet being transformed into a finished forged shaft under 3,000 tons of hydraulic force. Now, before we talk about what's happening, let's talk about what a hydraulic forging press actually is. Unlike the old-fashioned drop hammers your grandfather might have known, those loud, bone-rattling machines that pounded metal with sheer impact, a hydraulic press works differently. It applies massive, controlled, sustained pressure. That means the force goes all the way through the metal, not just the surface. For critical components like drive shafts, turbine shafts, and crankshafts, this makes all the difference. The Dyrostal 3,000-ton press is a vertical open die forging system. The press frame alone weighs hundreds of tons, with 4 massive guide columns keeping everything aligned to within fractions of a millimeter. The hydraulic cylinders are fed by high-pressure accumulators that store energy and release it on demand, delivering up to 3,000 metric tons of pressing force in a single controlled stroke. Here's how it works. First, a steel billet, sometimes weighing several tons, is heated in a gas-fired rotary furnace to forging temperature, typically between 100 degrees Celsius and 250 degrees Celsius. That's over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The metal glows a brilliant yellow-orange, becoming soft enough to shape but still solid. Then comes the dance between man and machine. A hydraulic manipulator, essentially a giant robotic arm, grips the glowing billet and rotates it precisely between each press stroke. The operator controls the pass reduction, the rotation angle, and the feed rate. With each stroke, the metal is compressed, grain structure is refined, and the shape begins to emerge, round, straight, and impossibly uniform. What makes forged shafts superior to cast or machined ones? It comes down to grain flow. When steel is forged, the internal crystalline structure, the grain, flows continuously along the shape of the part. That means no weak spots, no voids, no inclusions. Forged shafts can handle enormous torque and bending stress without failing. After forging, the shaft is slowly cooled, then inspected using ultrasonic testing, sound waves that bounce through the metal and reveal any hidden defects. Then it goes to the lathe and grinding machines for final dimensioning. The result? A component that will outlast almost anything else in the machine it serves. This is craftsmanship at its finest, built to last generations. The UBF 112N is a specialized CNC underfloor wheel lathe, a 2-spindle machine designed specifically for turning and profiling railroad wheels, both on complete wheel sets and on wheels fitted with new tires. What makes it remarkable is that the wheels don't have to be removed from the axle. The wheel set rolls directly onto the machine on its own rails, and the lathe gets to work. The machine's 2 cutting turrets approach from either side simultaneously, each carrying precision carbide inserts. Using pre-programmed CNC profiles, the tools trace the exact contour required by railway standards: the tread profile, the flange height, the flange width, the back-to-back distance. The cutting parameters are carefully controlled to achieve the right surface finish, because a wheel that's too rough will wear track faster, and one with incorrect geometry can compromise handling at speed. What sets the UBF 112N apart is its ability to handle both reprofiling of worn wheels and the finishing of brand new wheels or wheels fitted with new steel tires, all on the same machine, with quick changeover between programs. In a busy rail maintenance depot, that flexibility means more wheel sets turned per shift, less downtime, and trains back in service faster. Precision engineering in service of keeping the world moving. Next up, we're crossing the Atlantic and heading to the American Midwest, specifically to one of Cardinal Glass Industries' float glass manufacturing facilities. Cardinal is one of the largest glass manufacturers in North America, and what they do here is nothing short of extraordinary. Here's the journey from raw sand to a finished pane of glass. It begins with the batch house, where raw materials are precisely mixed and weighed. The main ingredient is silica sand, the purest, finest-grained sand available. To that, they add soda ash, which lowers the melting temperature, limestone for durability, and dolomite for additional chemical stability. Recycled glass cullet, broken glass from previous production runs, is added as well because it melts faster and reduces energy consumption. This carefully blended batch feeds into a massive continuous furnace, stretching over 160 feet long and running at temperatures approaching 1600 degrees Celsius, nearly 3000 degrees Fahrenheit. The raw materials melt together into a homogeneous molten glass river, flowing at a carefully controlled rate. Now comes the magic of the float process. The molten glass exits the furnace and flows onto a bath of molten tin. Tin is the perfect material for this. It's liquid at glass-forming temperatures, it doesn't mix with glass chemically, and its perfectly flat surface gives the glass its mirror-smooth bottom face. The glass floats on the tin, spreads out under its own weight and surface tension, and self-levels to a uniform thickness. By controlling the speed of the ribbon and the temperature zones, Cardinal's engineers can produce glass from 2 mm to 19 mm thick, all in one continuous process. After the float bath, the glass ribbon enters the layer, a long, carefully controlled cooling oven that anneals the glass, relieving internal stresses so it won't crack or shatter. Then it's scored, snapped, inspected, and cut to size by computer-controlled cutting systems. Optical sensors check every square inch for defects, bubbles, inclusions, or distortions. Only perfect glass makes it to the shipping dock. Now we shift gears, literally, to one of the most dramatic pieces of engineering you'll ever see, the Piz Val Grande gondola cable, installed on one of the highest aerial tramways in the Alps. The cable you're watching being manufactured is made at Fatzer AG, a Swiss company that has been building wire ropes for over 130 years. The Piz Val Grande E5 is a locked coil rope, the gold standard for aerial tramways. It's built from hundreds of Z-shaped cold-drawn steel wires, each pulled through tungsten carbide dies to precise diameters and wound in concentric layers around a steel core. The interlocking profile gives the rope a smooth, solid outer surface that resists abrasion and weather. Each meter of this rope weighs several kilograms, and a single tramway installation can require thousands of meters. Lives depend on this cable. That's why every spool is tested to over 300% of its working load before it ever leaves the factory. Precision, patience, and Swiss engineering at its absolute best. And finally, let's talk about something that looks deceptively simple, but is actually a masterclass in mechanical physics. This is a 3-roll plate bending machine, and what it can do to a flat sheet of steel will genuinely surprise you. Plate bending has been around since the Industrial Revolution, but today's CNC-controlled 3-roll machines are light years ahead of the old mechanical rolls your grandfather might have seen in a shipyard. Here's how it works. 3 large hardened steel rollers are arranged in a triangular pattern. The bottom 2 are fixed, and the top roll, called the pinch roll, moves up and down with hydraulic precision. As a flat metal plate is fed between the rollers, the top roll applies pressure while the plate is driven forward and backward. The geometry of the 3-roll system bends the plate progressively, pass by pass. What makes modern machines remarkable is CNC control. The operator enters the desired radius, the material thickness, and the tensile strength of the steel. The machine's computer calculates the exact roll position, compensates for springback, that tendency of metal to partially unbend after pressure is released, and drives the rollers with servo-hydraulic precision. These machines can bend plate from just a few millimeters thick all the way up to 200 millimeters or more of structural steel. The applications? Pressure vessels, storage tanks, ship hulls, wind turbine towers, pipeline sections. Anywhere you need a perfectly curved metal form. It's one of those machines that looks almost boring until you realize what it's actually capable of, and then you can't look away.